Welcome back, everybody, to the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise here on MLB The Show 20. As today, this is the big day we've been waiting for, Game 7 of the NLCS. Easily the biggest game so far in this series. If we win today, we're going to the World Series, and if we lose, our season is done, and then we'll have to get to the offseason. Last episode, we covered Games 5 and 6. The Diamondbacks won Game 5 off of a walk-off home run in the bottom of the ninth by Kevin Cron. And then Game 6, a must-win game for our Pirates, and we beat them pretty easily by a score of 6-1. We really hit the ball well. The Diamondbacks collected 11 hits in that game. They hit better in Game 6 than they have in most of the games in this series. They just haven't been able to drive in runs. We're not going to go into too much depth with the box scores because we're just going to end the anticipation now. You all came here to watch Game 7. I'm going to give the people what they want. Game 7 is here. The Diamondbacks and the Pirates, the winner, is headed to the World Series to take on either the Indians or the Red Sox, who have a Game 7 of their own in the NLCS. Here's a look at the series recap so far. The Diamondbacks have won all of the odd-numbered games, Games 1, 3, and 5. Pittsburgh, meanwhile, has won 2, 4, and 6. So we'll see if that keeps with fruition. Regular starters for both squads today, which makes sense. You want your best players playing in probably the most important game of the season, so smart calls by both sides, as on the hill for Pittsburgh today is their ace, Jameson Taillon. I don't think you want anybody but Taillon on the mound in this scenario. Now, he has been pretty underwhelming in the playoffs. He started in 2 games. Both of them he was fairly underwhelming, but has obviously been great in the regular season, and I think you can trust him more than any starter on this staff. There's David Peralta. He's going to go down looking. Ketel Marte now up at the plate, full count, 2 outs, and he will ground this one to Bo Bichette. 1-2-3 inning for the Diamondbacks, top of the order, as Pittsburgh looking good so far. The Diamondbacks will be starting their ace today, Zach Gallen. Gallen has been very good in 2 postseason starts, sub 1.5 ERA. He's been really good. As here is Josh Bell, who, after starting the playoffs off really slow, he has been a force here in the NLCS. He's easily been the Pirates' best bat in this playoff series, as he gets a single into right. Doesn't really matter as Dylan Carlson grounds out. Carlson's been the opposite of Josh Bell. Carlson really played well in the NLDS and has struggled here in the NLCS. Here's Josh Fuentes up at the plate for Arizona. 1-2 pitch, and the All-Star will strike out. Now we go to the bottom of the inning. Bo Bichette up at the plate, and he lines this one down the third base line and fair. Bichette digging for second. That'll be a 1-out double. And for the first time today, there's a runner on scoring position. Can the Pirates drive him in? Here's Oneil Cruz up at the plate. Bichette now at third, and Cruz swings at a very bad pitch. Oneil Cruz was excellent in the NLDS, but he has also really struggled in recent games. On to the third now, Carson Kelly draws a walk, and for the first time today, the Diamondbacks have themselves a base runner. Will they capitalize? Here is Ronald Sunwell up at the plate with 2 outs, weak fly ball into right. Josh Bell tracking after it. He does make the play, and Arizona does not capitalize. Score remains tied at 0 as we go to the bottom of the third. Brian Reynolds up at the plate. He's going to draw a walk. That pitch was really close to the zone, so you could have called that a strike. You could have called it a walk. Very close call for the umpires to make. Eduardo Escobar out to the plate, sings way too late on that fastball. Josh Bell now up. He's already gotten a base hit today, and he will potentially get another one. Yes, he does, as Bell safe at first. Nice play at short. You got to give Ronald Sunwell credit, but he cannot get the throw in time. So now 2 runners on, 2 outs for Dylan Carlson, and they call that a strikeout. That's pretty much exactly where the full count pitch for Brian Reynolds was. So can you at least be consistent, Joe West? On to the 4th inning now. Diamondbacks trying to get into a groove as they line a single into center with nobody out. Maybe this is the start Arizona needs to a potential rally. That's David Peralta with the hit. So just like that, the Diamondbacks have nobody out and a runner on here for Ketel Marte. That one gets past the glove of Bichette for a hit. So now there are 2 runners on, no outs, and Arizona is in a prime situation to drive in some runs. Josh Fuentes now up. He draws a walk, and with 1 out, the bases are juiced. All you got to avoid here is a strikeout or a ground ball, and you'll probably score. And this one is grounded by Kevin Cron. However, it will go into the outfield for a single. Peralta and Marte both score, and that'll be a 2-run single for Kevin Cron. And the Diamondbacks lead this game now 2-0. Are they done? Well, maybe it looks like, as Carson Kelly strikes out. We go to the bottom of the fourth. 2-0 Arizona is now your score as Bo Bichette goes down on the 86-mile-an-hour high and inside cutter. On to the fifth now. Zach Gallen trying to get in on the fun, and he does as he hits a single into right field. Once again, no outs. Arizona was able to score a pair of runs with no outs in the previous inning. But it doesn't look like they'll be as successful here as Benny Lang tags first, throws it over to second. O'Neal Cruz tags Gallen just in time. So now there are 2 outs for David Peralta. 3-1 pitch. He's going to look at the outside fastball and draw a walk. So once again, there is now a runner on. But this time there is 2 outs. Doesn't matter for Ketel Marte. He still capitalizes. Crushes this one into right. 2-run shot. The Diamondbacks will double their lead, and it's now 4-0. The Pirates are going to have to come back in this game if they want any chances of winning. Mookie Betts now up. He is going to strike out, ending the inning, and probably ending Jameson Taillon's day. On to the fifth now. The pinch hitter Mitch Haniger is in the game, so yeah, no more Jameson Taillon for the rest of this one, as Haniger goes down on the outside cutter. Brian Reynolds now up at the plate. 1-2 pitch. He's playing the Bird Box Challenge. More blind than Helen Keller. I don't know what he was swinging at. Zach Gallen scoreless through 5, and we go to the 6th. Brandon Waddle, the long reliever, probably going to try to get 2-3 innings out of him. If you're the Pirates, as Carson Kelly is up at the plate, he strikes out. A successful 1-2-3 inning for Brandon Waddle. Diamondbacks go down. Now on to the bottom of the 6th, where Pittsburgh really has to start this comeback soon. And this is a good way to open up the inning. Eduardo Escobar, the former Diamondback, goes deep into right center. The shutout is no more. The Pirates are on the board as it's now 4-1. And now here's Benny Lang a couple batters later. If it's fair, it's gone. And it barely curves foul. That's gotta hurt. Couple pitches later, Benny Lang strikes out. So instead of 4-2, it's still 4-1. Solid inning, but that Benny Lang home run going foul really hurts. On to the top of the 7th now. Nick Ahmed rips a single with 1 out. Ahmed in for the pitcher spot. The Diamondbacks, we're changing up the order a little bit. So Ahmed is now at the 9th spot in the lineup. And then the pitcher spot is now at 8th in the lineup. As here's Ronald Samuel, the following batter. Shop and gap into left center. Ahmed decided not to run it first. I don't know why. But now there are 2 runners on scoring position. 1 out for David Peralta, who will be intentionally walked. So that brings up Ketel Marte, who rips it into left field. A grand slam for Ketel Marte. And this one has gotten really ugly really quick. Marte's 2nd home run of the day. Arizona now leads it 8-1. As we go to the bottom of the 7th, the Pirates are living on a prayer. They need a miracle. Kevin Ginkel is now in for Arizona, as it'll be a 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the 7th. So now the Pirates have to come back down 7 within these next 2 innings. Let's go to the bottom of the 8th now. Bases are loaded. No outs for Josh Bell. He rips a single into left field. So now it's 8-2. Bases are still loaded with no outs. If the Pirates can drive in some of these runs, then they're back in this game. 1 out now for Benny Lang. He almost went yard in his last at-bat. He doesn't go deep this time, but he does connect on a huge extra base hit. That'll be a 2-run double for Benny Lang. Josh Bell advances to 3rd, and it is now 8-4. Pittsburgh's not out of this game quite yet. Andrew Chafin is now in for Arizona, going to try to get out of this inning. Bo Bichette up at the plate. He lines this one into center. It would be caught by Ketel Marte. Josh Bell will score safely. Lang advances to 3rd, and this score is now 8-5. Credit to the Pirates. They are not giving up. They are continuing to fight. Here's Francisco Mejia now. Deep ball on the left. If it's fair, it's out. And once again, it is just foul, and Mejia will instead line out to 2nd. If those 2 home runs were fair, from Lane and Mejia, respectively, then this game is tied up at 8 right now. On to the top of the ninth, Will Smith in. Just going to try to get some damage control in. Doesn't want the Diamondbacks to extend their lead. And plays like this will help as Josh Rojas will strike out. Ronald Sumwell now up at the plate. He's going to go down as well. So it looks like the Pirates are probably going to be down 3 going into the bottom of the ninth, unless Arizona can get some late inning magic in, and it doesn't look like that'll happen. David Peralta strikes out. Will Smith with the trifecta. 3 batters, 3 strikeouts for hat trick, and we go to the bottom of the ninth. Can the Diamondbacks clinch their way to the World Series, or do the Pirates have a little bit of magic left in that hat? Here's Archie Bradley on for the save, his 4th save opportunity. He is 3 for 3 so far. O'Neill Cruz going to lead off the inning. He thought that was a low ball, but instead it's a strikeout. Following batter, Brian Hayes goes down on the knuckle curve, and Pittsburgh is down to their final out. It's Brian Reynolds who's up at the plate. 2-2 pitch from Bradley. Reynolds connects, single into center. This game is not quite over. The Pirates are going to continue to fight. They don't want to lose this game easily. So that'll bring up Eduardo Escobar now. 1-1 pitch. He rips this one into right. Drops for a hit. The tying run is up at the plate, and it's Josh Bell. I don't think there could be any better player up right now than Bell. He unfortunately does not go deep, but gets this one past the glove of the second baseman. Reynolds scores, and it's now 8-6. So now the winning run is up at the plate. Dylan Carlson has a chance to walk it off and send the Pirates to the World Series, and it looks like he will be unsuccessful. And the Arizona Diamondbacks have won Game 7 in dramatic fashion and will be representing the National League in the 2022 Fall Classic. This is a game that the Pirates were out of. It was 8-1 going into the bottom of the 8th inning, and the fact that Pittsburgh had a chance to win it in the 9th inning, that just goes to show you the heart, the hustle, and the grit of this Pirates baseball team. You got to give them a ton of credit. This has been a phenomenal season for Pirates fans. The best record in the National League. One, perhaps out away from getting to the World Series. If Dylan Carlson rips a base hit there, then the Pirates could have tied it. They could have won it. But you got to give this team a ton of credit. The Pirates have to hold their heads high. They played a great ending to this game and just got unlucky as the Diamondbacks did really well with runners on base. So Season 3 is now in the books. We're going to take a brief look at the playoff stats, the regular season stats, and next episode's going to be the off-season. So who played well in the postseason, who didn't. There was a lot of inconsistencies. You had guys like Josh Bell, Bo Bichette, who really struggled early, and then as the playoffs went along, played a lot better. You also have guys like Dylan Carlson and O'Neill Cruz, who were really good at the beginning of the postseason and then just fell off down the stretch. Dylan Carlson in Game 7 had probably 3 at-bats with a runner or 2 on and didn't capitalize. So if you want to blame the Game 7 loss on somebody, I guess it would be Dylan Carlson, but he was really good in the NLDS in the early part of the NLCS. The pitching was certainly a mixed bag. Jamison Tyone was not great. The bullpen, for the most part, I would say was fine, especially early on. They kind of played a little bit worse down the stretch, but it is what it is. So now on to the ALCS Game 7. Boston and Cleveland, and the team representing it in the World Series in the AL is the Boston Red Sox. They win it 5-2. So Season 3 of an Octagonal Gaming MLB The Show franchise. The Red Sox versus the Diamondbacks in the World Series with a Mookie Betts-led Diamondbacks team. Is that not deja vu? That's exactly what happened last year in our Diamondbacks franchise, which is kind of ironic. However, this year, the result of the World Series is a little bit different. Last year in our Diamondbacks series, we won the World Series in 7, but this year it's the Boston Red Sox who win it in 5 games. The playoff MVPs are Ketel Marte and Michael Conforto, respectively. Marte was excellent in Game 7 against us. He went yard twice, drove in 6 runs. If he doesn't hit that grand slam in the 7th inning, then the Pirates are probably in the World Series right now. So we're going to take a quick, brief look at the regular season stats. We'll go more in depth with these in the offseason. But we have a big offseason coming up. I mean, you got guys like Eduardo Escobar. He's on a team option. Does he fit what we want to do going forward? Because there are a lot of minor leaguers, most notably our first rounder in Season 2, Pablo Cairo, who is ready for the bigs. Then in the pitching rotation, all 5 of our starters are under team control, but Jamison Tyone, Julio Urias, and Joe Musgrove are all free agents after next season. There's no way we are paying all 3 of them, so I won't be surprised if we trade one of them in this coming offseason. There's also Santiago Osuna, our first-round pick in Season 1. He'll be ready. He'll probably be a starter in our rotation next year. And then looking at the bullpen, Michael Givens, Ken Giles, Will Smith, and Ryan Presley are all free agents. So the bullpen is probably going to look pretty different as well. So this is a bigger offseason for the Pirates than a lot of people think. A lot of big decisions need to be made in Pittsburgh to try to improve this team and have another legit shot at the World Series next season. Hope you guys enjoyed. Obviously, not the ending result we wanted for Season 3, but Season 4 is going to be a ton of fun.